Alright, let's get started. First, I need some music that we're going to play while doing this, so take a quick peek at my available options. Maybe some jazz or something. A pirate music? Oh, this is a long jazz. Perfect, we'll just do this massive jazz playlist. That'll do. Cool. Alright, that works. Overlay, go away. And so initially mods were grayed out, but once they gave us the editor, they also gave us mod access. And everything other than map scripts doesn't have... Well, map scripts have this exclamation mark, which means, I don't know, probably doesn't like the folder structure. We'll investigate that. That's on my list of to-do things. And other than that, the other mods that I have here seem like they theoretically might work. I don't know, we have the game music in the background too. Maybe I'll mute this for now. We can just have the game music go. Alright, well, let's see. What other windows? Notepad? We'll start right with this list of stuff that we want to do. So what my general idea was to be just like, let's just enable all. Restart the game and see what works and what doesn't. I think that's going to be a good place to start, so let's just do that. Alright. Maybe I should have a different background that doesn't say crash, but like, game is not running. But let's see. We'll reboot the game. I just enabled all my mods. So let's see. Looks like the new intro video worked. The main menu background is not modded. Alright, and then let's take a critical look. So we should have a data set available to us. We should have... This probably won't work because it uses different icons in Rise of Rome. Turn to Rome. Return of Rome. Turn of Rome. Monks, that wouldn't matter because we don't see them. Main menu doesn't work. Map scripts don't seem to work at all. Grid mod should work. Idle villager, no, because it's a different villager model. That shouldn't work. Gunpowder tracer shouldn't work. Tooltips, and a lot of this shouldn't actually help. Shouldn't actually be visible. Lombard cannons, I guess most of it's visible. Let's see if like these maps are available. The relic glow. Larger. I think to the extent that the relevant objects are useful in AoE 1, it should work. Minimap, that should probably work. Actually, the minimap probably shouldn't work because it uses a different panel. Small trees should work. Bigger minimap, clean tech tree. All right, let's just boot up yeah, it doesn't list my custom maps except for the ones that I manually put into there. So that one thing where the mods don't work out of the box. Let's do Highland. See if anything else works. Okay, so my grid mod works. However, the terrains that are being overridden, of course I don't have a grid on those. So that's interesting. Well, it's as expected, I suppose. So, but in principle, anything that mods the AoE2 files where AoE1 is using the AoE2 files, like this desert terrain, work. Yeah, visual passages, idle villagers, of course, don't work. Replace the mod because that replaces the graphics. What else am I expecting to see here? I suppose if I had something that turned the elephant into, I don't know, a hippopotamus, that would probably work. There is no RMS folder. There is I made one to put in some, and they appear. However, there is none by default because the ES maps don't exist. So I'm gonna have to see if that can work in a mod. I can actually show you that. Folder structure, not that one. Which folder do I need for this? Not the depot. Too many folders open. Certainly not my music playlist. And we also don't need this depot either. Okay, I don't actually have it open. This is what I want. Windows Explorer. Yeah. So this folder didn't exist, if I recall correctly, and I made it and just put in a bunch of stuff to see if it would work. But the official maps are all in the game data as they should be. So yeah. I might have to I'll have to test what works with mods for that. Let's just try some things too. Options. Graphics. That's not what I want. I don't want that. Where's the small trees and stuff like that? Game. It's probably under game, isn't it? Okay. Idle pointers. Go. They exist for AoE1? That's the... Yeah, okay, so those work. They look... I don't know, like the villagers a bit... I guess it works. They look a bit blurry or something, maybe. Maybe not. Alright. I'm gonna have to exit out to turn on small trees. Not like this. Options. Now what we should see here is that my small tree mod, which I have overriding the default small trees, should be in place. And what that one does, it doesn't shrink like bushes and things that are very small, except that doesn't work on this map because there are no bushes, so go to the scenario editor. If you want to see anything specific in the scenario editor as well, let me know. Battle of the Cheats. We don't need to load that one right now. I did do a lot of stuff on stream yesterday that was just sort of generally exploring. Well, today I'm going to really focus on mods. So if I do like jungle, forest jungle, is my mod working? I think the answer is... And the bushes are kind of big, so maybe? We should see with the reeds. I don't shrink the reeds in my mod. Oh no, they're definitely being shrunk here as well. Alright, we're gonna have to do some more testing. selective small trees. Alright, we're gonna want huge trees active instead. I'll restart the game. And then we'll take a look and see if that looks better now. So on our list, which mods work out of the box? Did we really see any of them working? Terrain mods except overridden terrains. So the question is, how do we override those terrains with a mod as well? That's actually an interesting question. Because essentially it seems that Return of Rome is getting priority over the modded files, and the modded files get priority over the base game files. Which is not an ideal order of priorities. Alright, so for the excess stuff, there was a screenshot posted that had at least some of the new constants for excess. The other things, sure, let's take a look at them. Alright, first let's see if the trees worked. Start with that. Those trees are not... Yeah, so it seems my small trees, my huge trees mod is not working. That's sad. Yeah. Huge trees. Yeah, that's possible at the graphic small trees. It should work. Actually, let's do another test. If I just switch to AoE 2, will my mods that I just chose? Yes. So all the mods that I activated on Rome are active now. You can see that the main menu is this Christmas thing with widget UI folder. That's could be a bit awkward, honestly. That could be a bit awkward to have the mods completely carry over if you really play both modes. Yeah, I was... But that makes it hard to actually mod Rome. It makes... I can understand why it's this way, but... Tricky, like that. Because now we should see the huge trees. No? Really? Really? Did they make it so that... Oh, did they change it so that you can't mod the small trees anymore? I specifically modded the folder that had... I specifically overrid the official small trees so that you could use the small trees toggle to do it. Oh, that's sad. I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway. I guess let's go back to Rome and continue with what we're doing. So, let's load Battle of the Chiefs. Actually, we can open the scenario folder. It's the file, the extension is AoE 2 scenario. Yeah, the official small trees toggle is buggy. It doesn't always load everything right away. Yeah, they're called AoE 2 scenario. I don't know if that helps. I can open it with Notepad, yeah. 1.48, I'll show that on stream. Right. Let's scoochify the Notepad window over a bit. Or we'll hide this one. Is that helpful information? Okay, good. Alright, then we'll close that again and actually open a scenario. Right, actually, let me keep looking at your quiz. So, if there's new effects conditions, we can actually check the list. Scenario file format, we're assuming it's the same now, or at least the STX version number is the same. So yeah, let's check what's listed in the editor. Alright. No new terrains. Players, units, diplomacy, global victory, that all looks about the same. I feel like I haven't messed around with this stuff in a long time. You guys can take a peek if you notice anything that seems new. Or you can go back in the VOD and take a look at this list. Right. We're at freeze object, so I'll keep going. Alright. Modify attributes affect attribute list. Sure, I'll do that. I mean, there are new attributes. I already figured that out, but we can see what they list here. Oh wait, did I not? I used advanced button. Yeah, I did. That's good. Scroll all down all the way. Modify attribute. I was also looking at Advanced Genie Editor yesterday, although I didn't go in detail at looking at attributes and so on. Mainly looking at units. I can do that again, though, if you're interested in how the data is set up. Right. I'm going to scroll down. Projectile unit is where we were. 2 of the list. So new here are the terrain restriction and maybe the terrain defense. No, terrain defense bonus we had. I feel like terrain restriction was on the things that were new. And some of these graphics, actually being able to change like the attack graphic and the whatever the idle graphic and so on. Those were on the list of attributes that I pulled out. Alright, what else would you like to see? I can actually let me pull up the list from yesterday too. I have that still around. It's Rome, the other Rome text. Notepad Classic? Nope. It's not confused. Copy these notes. That was yesterday's stuff. Oh, you can't see it yet. There we go. Now. So yeah, we should have seen the equivalent attributes. This Gaia spawn thing is interesting. Spawn unit and Gaia spawn unit. Other than that, yeah, we have a bunch of new attributes. Which I hopefully found all. And we can roll back down to where we were now. Okay, so my Relic Glow mod, that works. In the list of mods that do work. I'm a bit upset about the small trees, but we won't worry about that just right now. So actually... have some more things that we can do. Why do map scripts get the exclamation mark? So... for that one, I think what we want to do is probably make a mod that matches this location here. You think it's the Flemish militia? I think yesterday my guess was, oh, it could be like the llama and things that spawned from the TC. But maybe it's that? Alright, so what I need here is I need to make a mod local. Oh, do the mods need to be... oh, maybe the mods need to be in a special... mods Pompeii. Mods Pompeii resources save game. Aha! Flemish is the upgrade unit effect. I think I've got an idea. So if we go into the profile folder and then I go to modes, Pompeii, and then I make a mods folder here. Mods, and then I copy the random map scripts that you guys can see right now. I just go like this. I'm going to want resources, common, and then random map scripts. We'll see if it works as a mod. Resources. New folder, common. It does turn up in game, so it's not like it doesn't work at all. Modes, mods, resources, common. That's not going to work, is it? Pompeii. Resources, common, campaign. And that's where I want to put random map scripts, actually. Complicated, and you guys can't see it right now because I don't have the window open. I'll fix that. Let's try this. Did I actually end up deleting them from the other place? Maybe? Maybe. Let's just see if it worked. Pompeii. Well, Pompeii is a city in, near Herculaneum in Italy. No, they name all their DLCs after cities starting with P, right? They had Palermo, I don't remember what else before then. Prague? I don't remember. So, we shouldn't... they're still listed. Okay. Let's go to mods. Hmm. 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 Depot. Alright. Modes, Pompeii, resources, common, random access. If I restart it, will we still see the maps? And I think the answer is yes, so we'll test that. And then if that one works, then the next test is to actually make a mod. I can already prep that. Mods, we'll call it, you know, test mod. Alright, so if I start a skirmish now, I should still see the custom maps. Yes, good. Okay, so the user profile folder works. Resources common. Now I'm going to... No, don't do that. Now we restart one more time. Pompeii, resources common, random map scripts. So I take random map scripts out of there. Pompeii, mods, test mod, resources, common, random map scripts. Okay, so now I made a test mod. Let's see if that mod turns up at all. I'm not super hopeful. It seems to be a bit awkward to mod. But perhaps. So now if we go to mods, do we have our test mod? We should also test with if the dataset, if I can select that somehow. I do not see the test mod. Okay, so that... It uses the same mods folder, it does not use a separate mods folder. Or you can't make it use a separate mods folder, at least not where I tried. That's good to know. Let's see if I can use the dataset. Well, I can't use the designer's dataset. Unless... Can't use it here either. Alright. Hope data mods aren't just entirely broken. Okay. Huh. Well, Rome might be harder to mod than I thought it would be going into this today. Or at least you need to do something different. Maybe... I can... Were you there yesterday? I can show you what dat name it uses. If I find it again. Give me a sec. Alright, Windows Explorer. It's not the one I want. I want this window. No? How do I get it to... I need to minimize all the other windows. Depot, that one can go. Let's try it again. I'll just close that window. Open this one. There we go. So Rise of Rome in the Pompeii folder uses Empires 2 times 2 P1 dat. Which, unless I'm much mistaken, is the same name here, yeah. So it might be because Rome is actually a glorified mod that you can't mod it itself. At least. Or maybe, you have to go into your, your JSON for the mod and you put in a flag and then it works or something, but as such it seems not as moddable as I thought it would be. I'll show you the stuff with the terrains as well. I showed this yesterday, but like it overrides some of the terrain textures. And what we saw in game was that my grid mod was working on the terrains that aren't included here, but it wasn't working on these. Now, one of my plans for today was actually to port from AoE 1 DE some more of the terrains over. And like the berry graphics and the gold graphics, because actually AoE 1 DE, the graphics look really good. Like honestly better than AoE 2. However, I'm not so sure that this stuff is easily moddable. I have another idea though. We're not going to give this up quite yet. Basically, if I make a mod that goes to modes Pompeii, basically mod that goes to this location, would that work? If I just copy this whole path, basically I want this path. And then what are we going to do to test with? I could honestly just take my grid mod, duplicate it, and make it like... Yeah, let's do something like that. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So... I need my grid mod. I want to override, let's say I just want the grid mod to work. And I want to override the custom terrains in Rome. So I go to mods. Alright, it's one of the early ones, improved grid mod. So I just copy this thing. Then we're going to just make it, we're just going to paste it. Then we have grid mod copy. We're going to rename it Roar grid mod. ROR grid mod. Okay, then we don't need the info JSON. We'll delete that. And instead of having a resources folder in here, we're going to have modes. I'm going to put resources into that, and then we're going to have Pompeii. Pompeii with 2 eyes, right? Pompeii has 2 eyes, yeah. And it is capitalized. Capitalization might matter here, so we have modes Pompeii, and then we plop resources into that. Common, terrain, textures, x2. Okay, so I have Roar grid mod now. Return to main menu. Push to Rome. Try this. Yeah. That's what we're gonna try next. I probably need to restart, or I could import local mods, but we'll just restart. The other thing I was originally hoping once I saw this data structure was that it would be possible to make your own custom modes. You just make a new one, you call it, modes, whatever, Age of Chivalry, and then you put in your own graphics and terrains and future available units JSON and whatever else you need. Might be possible. That was my big hope. Alright, so we should have like a grid here. Or not. That was... Oh, I put it in the subscribe folder. That won't do. It needs to be in the local folder. You know what? Let's try importing local mods. Pages. Is that all I have in terms of local mods? No. Import local mods. There we go, Roar Grid mod. Yeah, it's in the DE local folder. I tried to make a mods folder before. I tried to make one in the Rise of Rome folder, but that didn't work. However, I think my Roar terrain that it's now here. I probably need to restart one more time for it to take effect. Thankfully, this is kind of quick. And if this works, actually, we can try the Rise of Rome huge trees, see if that can make that one work too. Yeah, only on this PC because it's on an SSD. On my laptop, it's on a hard drive, and it's painfully slow. Like an SSD makes a world of difference here, but it's painfully slow without it. Ah, shit. Well, okay, fine. I have an NVMe. It's actually a good, some sort of good, useful hard drive. Solid drive. Alright. Moment of truth. So I should have... Okay, so that works. Basically, if you want to make a mod, you have to specifically... In general, if you want to get your mod to work, you have to make it specifically override modes Pompeii. That's good. That's a good start. That means we could try the, I could do my plan of... I still have this notepad window open, don't I? Okay. So... have modes Pompeii. Probably with slashes going the other direction. Could you check if the main menu XML file specifies which mode folder is targeted by which button? Yes, although you might have to help me find said file. I have too many windows open again. Cut Pompeii. Too much stuff open. DE modes Pompeii resources common. Thank you, thank you. Let me know and then I can just find it more easily. Yes. Alright. There is a Pompeii.json that. Ooh. Actually, it has a random map scripts. It just didn't have the folder. But yeah, to check the button itself would be interesting. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Find that path for me. I don't think I found anything actually new. There's a JSON file in the main Rise of Rome folder, and it specifies which types of things to find in which folder. Which folders are stored where. I don't know if that's actually anything useful. It's you said it's an XML or XAML? Screen load game transition, that's not it. Maybe I can just search for menu. Research WPFG. Okay. Menu panel? Let's try this again. Dialogue, Civ selection, simple multiplayer menu. That's not it. Button, no. Give me the button. The Civ emblem. Main menu. That's just the resources. Simple main menu. No, it's not in there. Although it might be. There's a screen folder. There's a screen folder, but it doesn't. It only has one thing. Although maybe that's the transition between the two game modes. Let me drag this thing over a bit more so you can see it. I don't know. I'm not sure this is the right one. Sure, I can make it bigger. You know what? Just go all out on this. About as big as I can go. I'll go back to the top. I mean, I would describe that sidebar as a ribbon. However, yeah, that's what I was thinking. We'll check that. Yeah. That's not the folder I want. There is also the option to check the widget UI folder, potentially, although I don't think that's where we would find it. We have a bunch of things here. It's probably one of these here, isn't it? I can make this window bigger as well, actually. Let's go drag. Um, radial menu? It's not really radial. System resources button. All right, we'll check that one. Radio button. No, just button. Huh? System resources. A blind button, small icon. They still have the mixer stuff in here. Alright. Age 2 button? Alright. Let's see if there's another H2 button. Where's the age 1 button? Let me check if there's like a sidebar or something. Well, there's an age 2 button, but I guess we could look for that. See if there's anything called that. Age 2 button. No items might search, okay. App. My screen, system resources. Game item. Is anything here? Actually, let's try date modified. System resources, images. These two were modified recently. Player summary tooltip. That's just to add like your roam, your elo. That's not it. Let's try this one. Now we're getting there. AoE logo. Maybe, maybe not. I don't have a Visual Studio Code. Actually, I might. I don't know. Don't think I have it installed. You can also. I could open every single one of these and search with Notepad. What report? Mixer. I don't know. Maybe this isn't. Just because this one has been updated, right? It should be one that's been updated recently. Alright, let's check the folders. Simple main menu was updated. I haven't messed around with these much. Conversion to AoE 2. This is it. It is the age 2 button. Conversion to roar. This one. This is it. Alright, let's make Notepad even wider. And Notepad Yeah. So you click the button. Okay. Yeah, okay, it is definitely the H2 button. See if H2 button is 20 matches in this file. Okay. Image string. Although this might not be all the, because this is like the Xbox sign-in and so on. This is not quite the same thing. I don't know if this is all part of it. H2 button might just be a class or something. This is relevant, but maybe I need to search for button AoE 2. Let's try that. That has 2 matches. Okay. No matches in here. No matches in here. Okay. Let's shrink this thing again. Okay, let's do some more scouting around. And there's maybe, or maybe there's more. We also have screen load game transition that we haven't opened yet. H2 swipe effect. Like the actual transition between the two game modes does need to be coded somewhere. Check if our button H2 is in here. No. That's just the code name for the thing. It's probably not going to be used. No. Not in... The credits screen got an update? It's not important. Screen. Resources? Oh my goodness. Fonts. Fonts. I can just check actually the whole WPFG. Pay. Check that too. There wasn't in the file. There's not in here either. Tab. Tab looks like the statistics screen. And just like generally tabs. I don't think this is it. Screen was where we just were. So let's check tab again. Wait. Date modified. None of this has been modified recently. Resources. Date modified. AoE. First AoE logo is small. Well, that's the return to Rome. That's the name of the file. That's the actual name of the file here. No, I wouldn't. We can't give up hope so quickly yet. But I suppose, yeah, you could just fully modify that. That's just bigger. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's the actual picture. Panel notification. Updated, but that doesn't make a difference. Dialogue. Dialog Civ selection. Okay, it makes sense that that wouldn't be updated. Let's check in this one for the actual file name. No. 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 Okay, the actual PNG isn't referenced here. Except in that one folder that we'd found. It was in the... Is this conversion to age 2? Oh yeah, okay, it does list the... It does list the file name. It's using the 256 one. Makes sense. We found that file. On click. I don't know. Any more ideas? I could probably find that somewhere, but I think it's probably hard-coded, actually. Maybe. Alright. Ask away. I resize these windows to their actual size. Properties. Transform. Reset transform. That's probably what it is. Well, I could keep it mega large. Let's reset the transform. You can ask me on Discord. Transform. Reset transform. Ah. Make this thing a bit bigger. Well, so for all of this, we did find some interesting stuff. And we figured out how a mod needs to be set up. It basically just needs to have... it needs to be, you know... Basically, you sort of do mods, modes, Pompeii. Yeah. And I can probably go ahead and make the terrain mod. That'll work. Now that I've figured that out. Let's see if I can get the maps to work without an exclamation mark if I do that. If I plop, that'll be one last thing that could be fun. So, what do I need to do for this? I need to go back to my local mods folder. Mods, local, ROR grid mod, modes, Pompeii, resources, common, and then we swap our random map scripts into there from resources common. Don't need that folder. Don't need the depot right now. Mods, Pompeii, resources. Common. So if I just take the random map scripts folder, put in just a text file to make sure that the folder continues to exist. Copy these into folder random map scripts. Okay, so I made that. See if the now if I go to oh no, the custom thing is gone. No. No. Where is it? I guess if there are no maps in the random folder, it just vanishes. Fine. But Roar. I have in my grid mod, I now put in the random map scripts, but apparently that doesn't work. I'll restart the game and see. Alright, they need to get that random map scripts folder sorted so that it always exists. Alright, if I go to mods now... Oh yeah, this could be managed... It's probably a better way to manage this. Alright, now if I go to single player skirmish... Custom... Okay, it's back. And now these are in my modded folder. In a mod. So that works. It just needs to follow the proper path because reasons. But it makes sense, yeah. Okay. Okay. And then it makes sense. Any mods that you make for Return of Rome won't apply in the base game because the path will be sending it to the Rome folder. That's good to know. Alright. Anything else? Otherwise, I think end the stream now. Yesterday I did a 4-hour one, but today I just wanted to experiment a bit. We can hide our notepad window. Where is it? Alright. What do you want me to check? Or how do you envision me checking this? I mean, of course I could, I don't have an XS file to load right now. Where do you load it anyway? Is there like a run access somewhere? I don't remember where it is. WSL2. That's not a good sign that I don't know what that stands for. WSL2. Install Linux on Windows. Windows subsystem for Linux. No, I don't. Or maybe? Probably. No. I can do that though. I can use the strings.exe if you really want. I did that. I did that using a different. I used some sort of program for Windows. Did the same thing. I think I won't do that on stream though. I can do that. I'll do it for you afterwards. Yeah, I think that's... I can do that. But let's first put on a nice overlay and bid everyone farewell for now.